Folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man! At your services. How are you all? Hope you're doing very, very well. Now, wow, the entire world and his canary are trying to work out who's racist in the royal family. I've got a little tidbit of information for you. They all are, of course. Why do you think they invaded half the world and colonised it? Anyway, we've got a mystery here which we can work out right here, right now. So, what's that mystery I hear you say, Kilt-Man? Well, some of you guys will be all too familiar with the name Steve 007 Smith. Yes, frequent contributor to the channel and a good friend of mine. A learned colleague and a scholar as well. And he likes a drop of the hard stuff too. Cheers, Steve. Steve sends me movie artwork wrapped up in a box. I don't know what it is, but Steve tries to help me along the way by giving me some clues, some little clues as to what the film might be. And they're kind of coded, they're cryptic, they're obtuse. Most of the time, though, I seem to get it right with some uncanny sixth sense. It isn't the sixth sense, is it? And this time, I've said something, got to be a bit more sort of, confusing with the clues. Just give me more or give me less to work on. And yeah, he gave me less this time. So, this has arrived, and yes, it's titled Another One, because how many of these are there now? So let's put it down that way, because I've worked out that usually when the label is at the bottom and I open it this way, providing it's like a portrait and I bring it out so you guys see it first, it's the right way up. At least it seems to be mostly that way, but I'm going to come across it at some point. His clues were, well, it's a horror film. It's a masterpiece. It's a classic. And he said, and this is what instantly put me onto one train of thought. He said, when you tried to rent it, it was always out. So, me and him were around at the same age. So we're talking the video boom of the 80s and an infamous classic horror movie from the 80s, which was always out when we tried to rent it. And I went straight away, sounds interesting. In fact, sounds groovy. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking there, or what I was thinking. Because as I hurriedly, with my really dodgy phone with half the keyboard not working because the screen just doesn't respond, I was saying, yeah, groovy. He'd already done another message to me saying, yeah, I love the first movie, but unlike everyone else, I despise the sequels. So I thought, well, it can't be the Evil Dead then, groovy, because groovy's from Evil Dead 2, and everybody loves Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, which should always have been called Evil Dead 3, the Medieval Dead. Why they dropped the ball there, God only knows. Yeah, I love the Evil Dead, the original movie. I'm playing its music now, Joseph LaDuca's fabulous score. And I adore Evil Dead 2. But behind all that comes the slapstick of, and the Ray Harryhausen tribute that is Army of Darkness. I love it, but it's below the other two. But now, with him saying that, it can't be that. It can't be Evil Dead. So what else did I think? Well, obviously a film you tried to rent out in the 80s. I mean, I'm assuming it's the 80s. It's got to be. But films that had sequels. Well, Poltergeist, right? Classic film. Sequels, far lesser. Poltergeist 2 is okay. Poltergeist 3 is a crock. But I don't think it's that either. House, I've reviewed House. House is a classic horror comedy. House 2 is the pits, the nadir of horror fantasy cack. House 3 is a different story altogether. House 4, just forget it. So yeah, Friday the 13th, an absolute classic. Yeah, and it would have been a hot rental, of course. And all the sequels are of a law of diminishing returns. We know this. Halloween the first one's a classic, but I love Halloween 2, Halloween 3, and Halloween 4. And I've covered Halloween so many times. And plus, he's already sent me a Halloween 2 canvas artwork. What else? Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Great classic first movie. People don't like the second or the third or the remakes and the prequels. I love the second movie. I've discussed it a lot. I've discussed the first movie a lot as well. What else did I put down? Evil Dead, House, Texas Chainsaw, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Poltergeist. But here's where I'm going to come a cropper, because I know you're all waiting for me to absolutely get this completely wrong. And I'm telling you, that day is coming. And it may well even be today. I don't think it's Evil Dead. Because who in their right mind, Steve, doesn't like Evil Dead 2? No. It's gotta be this. This was hugely popular. Box office smash, both sides of the Atlantic, but worldwide. It cleaned up on video rental. In fact, Nightmare on Elm Street, I've still got the original rental copy on Betamax because I bought that day one. I saved up my pocket money and I said to James Chinnery, who owned the video shop over the road from us. James Chinnery, yeah, Jim Chinnery. What a great name. I said to him, look, I want this. And he said, well, just rent it. Said, no, just copy it. I was doing video copying anyway. No, I love this movie. I want to buy it. I said, all right, well, okay, I'll order an extra copy on Betamax for you, but you're going to pay me dealer price. So it did. And it cost £37 back in 84, 85. So, Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, if it is Nightmare on Elm Street, then I've got some stories to tell you. If it isn't, I'll have to make up some more story pretty damn quickly. So, and if it's Harry and Meghan in there, 1, 2, Oprah's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock the palace door. I can't think of any more. Right, folks. The choices were Evil Dead. The very fact you don't like the sequels, it can't be that. I'd still love it to be the Evil Dead, but House, no. Texas Chainsaw, no. Poltergeist. Actually, the more I think about it, Poltergeist actually sounds like quite a good candidate. It was very popular. God. Halloween, Friday the 13th. I'm going with Freddy. Right. Okay, it's the other way round. Now, folks, as I always say, look, these things are sealed against cardboard and they're wrapped up in cellophane. The picture itself is facing the cardboard, so I can't see it. But when I raise it and I'm looking the other way, when I turn around, because of the light and it's canvas, I can usually see through it. So a nanosecond before I've turned it round, I've probably worked out what it is. But it's not always the case. 1, 2, Kilt-Man's coming for you. Did you all watch the Harry and Meghan throw the royal family under the bus? I did. I didn't think I would. I didn't think I'd be bothered. But it was compulsive car crash TV, wasn't it? Oh, those royals. They're a fucking mess, aren't they? For the record, if you've got to be in Team Harry Meghan, Team Book House, I'm Team Harry and Meghan. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Shit right I am. Racist royals. Too fucking right. Training special forces to assassinate royal members. Yeah. As a training exercise. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Really. Okay, what have we got in here? What have we got in here then? Do 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 do. What do you think it is? Oh, you think it's Prince Charles? Okay, folks, you're going to see it before me. I haven't looked. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Is it upside down? It's up. It's the Evil Dead. It was my first choice. It was my first choice. I have to put the bloody music back on again now. Oh, well, where's the music gone? What's happened there? What have I done? Oh, you see, I've dissed the Royals and look what's happened. There it is. Oh, yes. Look at that. The ultimate experience in grueling horror. And of course, the Stephen King, I don't say Steven Spielberg, the Stephen King quote is what guaranteed success for Sam Raimi's absolute smorgasbord of splattery effects, Lovecraftian horror, and instant cult making, absolute whirligig, photographic visual excess tour de force. That was a struggle. Put that on the video box. Banned in the UK, of course, even though it was cut down. Its cinema release, the only uncut version that played in cinemas at the time, was at the London Film Festival. Then it was cut down for provincial distribution. By a good, almost every scene of gore was trimmed. With my good friend, the horror author, not Stephen King, but he's a close friend of his, Ramsey Campbell, Britain's leading horror writer, winner of every award and accolade going in the literary field, and a guy who lives just down there. He became an acquaintance of mine because both of us had a fascination for video nasties, and even at my tender young age, he made available the full uncut American version of The Evil Dead. So pretty much as soon as it came out in the UK, I actually had an uncut version, and I'll be honest, watching the uncut version of this was a revelation, and it lessened the effect. Here's a really weird thing. Having been brought up and weaned on horror movies from like microscopic sort of age and size, and going to the cinema underage every night for years and years, free of charge, because I had friends who owned the cinema. You know, a little local cinema, not a chain. Remember those good old days? The Phoenix Cinema in Wallasey Village, a little 2-screen flea pit. Knife crime was all the rage. In fact, you weren't allowed in if you weren't armed. And I saw pretty much everything. Hills of Eyes, Suspiria, Poltergeist, Dawn of the Dead, everything. I saw everything, especially on re-releases between the late 70s and into the early 80s. It was phenomenal. And but when I finally saw the uncut version of this, it diluted it because every single scene of splatter was extended. For example, where the hand comes through the door and Ash hits it with the butt of the shotgun, and in the UK version he hit it one time and it goes splat and then the hand goes away. In the full uncut version he hits it about 3 times. Where is she? Where she begins the, we're gonna get you, we're gonna get you, not another pee, time to go to sleep. And he starts backhanding his own girlfriend. In the UK version, he hits her once. In the uncut version, he goes bang, bang, bang. Well, the cumulative effect of the extra violence, the extra, atrocity, diluted the impact. That hand getting squashed against the door was far more impactful with just the one boof, splat, than the bang, bang, bang. And the backhand and forehand and backhand and forehand, like a fucking Wimbledon final. That was diluted because it just went on too long. However, I'm never going to go, oh, no, the cut down version's better. Bollocks. This is magisterial. Steve, you don't like Evil Dead 2? I am stunned. Evil Dead is a harder, nastier movie by far, but it has got its tongue wedged in its rotting cheek. It's camp, it's silly, it's over the top, it's goofy, it's gory. It is a lot more serious, but it has got a rich vein of black humour, ghoulish gallows humour running all the way through it. Evil Dead 2, in contrast, goes more slapstick or splatstick, goes more for the funny bone than the jugular. Waters down the gore, changes its colour for one thing, but it's an outrageously over the top, fabulous, fabulous movie. But this is the Evil Dead 2 doesn't scare me. Army of Darkness doesn't scare me. This one bloody scared me. All those knee-jerk moments, the hands coming through the door, pulling the curtain back and then telling the way it comes up at the window and all that. All the jump scares, all the formulaic, knee-jerk stuff worked a treat. Watching this, I spent more time on the ceiling than actually sat on my arse. And I loved it for it. Genuine roller coaster ride. It's like he's looking at me going, you what? Evil Dead. And because I was so convinced that it wasn't Evil Dead, I thought, well, I could have brought down an Evil Dead mask, which I first thought it was Evil Dead, and I've got all the masks from Evil Dead. Well, Evil Dead 2, so yeah, it probably wouldn't have worked really, would it? But I was going to have them dotted round. In the end, I plumped for Shriekerzoid or Creeperzoid or whatever the hell this thing's called. But look at that, that is terrifying. Cheryl, oh my god. Her eyes. For God's sake, what happened to her eyes? What? Fuck the eyes, what happened to the rest of it? Jesus. Yeah, we know. It's so low budget. It took them 3 years to actually make this movie. You can see the cast visibly aging throughout the movie. Yeah, going back to the woods in the Tennessee woods to film at that cabin. It's hot, then it's cold, it's hot, they're all getting sick. It's just a relentless drudgery. But their torments, their torture going through the production of this movie ensured that it became an absolute masterpiece for the ages. A game changer. It played off all the George Romero, Tom Savini, Lovecraftian literature tropes, splatter mixed with pure supernatural, Halloween, John Carpenter style, whirligig effects, great camera work, virtuoso photography, great dynamic direction. Over the top, yet completely subpar performances, and yet that doesn't matter. Look at Bruce Campbell, Bruce the Chin Campbell. He's a bloody superstar now. We all love him for his overacting and his gaining and all that. But the rest all look scotty, No, not Cheryl. She's. There's a way, Ash. There's a trail. But the trees. Don't you see, Ash? They know. They're alive. It's brilliant. Brilliant. And especially that Ash is a complete buffoon. We know he's an idiot, but a heroic idiot in Evil Dead 2 and especially Army of Darkness, and then Ash vs Evil Dead. And of course it's just been announced that they definitely are going ahead with another Evil Dead movie. More on that when I know more. But in this movie, he's a complete idiot. He's a coward, and he spends more time underneath the bookshelf, the flimsiest of bookshelves and cupboards. He keeps getting battered aside by some deadhead and a deadite, and like a shell's falling on him, and he's like spending ages trying to. A flea would have no trouble extricating itself from beneath those, but Ash just can't get up at all for ages. But he is a buffoon and a coward, and he's ineffectual until he becomes the only one actually able of mounting a defence and fighting back, and then by God he kicks ass. But of course at the end, one of the greatest tricks in the movie is that there's no happy ending. He thinks he's got away with it, it's dawn, he used the necklace, he's burnt the book, you know, he survived, but then the camera, join us, comes hurtling through the cabin, splits the door, hits him, all that goes on. And he's like, oh God, he didn't get away with it. Shit. So it does become an endurance test. You've jumped out of your skin, you've laughed, you've been creeped out, you've been revolted by the awful rape by tree, which Sam Raimi says even now, like, you know, well, that was a mistake. If I could go back and do the film again, I would not have that scene in there. But it is in a film which, when you look at it now, yes, it's sort of pantomime, it's over the top, it's hilarious, but it's really nasty as well. But that one sequence does leave a bit of a sour taste in the mouth, but I think you do need it. It certainly added the notoriety to the movie, and definitely got it taken off shelves in the UK and banned, and then put on News at 10 and all the local news. I've been in video libraries when that got took off. The one I remember, I've said to you before a few times, like the one I remember specifically getting taken off the shelves was The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. George Grau's fantastic, Spanish, Italian, German, French, massive co-production, all shot in the Peak District. And it's wonderful, wonderful, one of my favourite zombie movies ever. But it's also massively anti-right-wing, staunchly the anti-police, so it wasn't a surprise that that got lifted, and I was there when it got lifted up in two different video libraries, but one in particular, it was a nasty event. But as a kid you were like, because I had a copy of it back home, and I was like, yeah, fuck you. But this became the cause celeb. Things like Bill Lustig's Maniac as well, on both sides of the pond, caused furore and controversy. I Spit on Your Grave, Last House on the Left. But this, when you watch it now, as I was about to say, it's gloriously over the top. It is like a pantomime. It's so funny, it's so amateurish in many places, and yet so professional in others. That camera work is still dizzying and still virtuoso. That is inspired and clever and oft copied. It's almost like Sam Raimi took John Carpenter and Dean Cundy's camera work for Halloween. The gliding, Panaglide camera, following people through rooms and gliding down streets. Took that and said, okay, we're now going to put that on steroids. We're going to run through the woods. We're going to hurtle through a cabin. We're going to do all sorts. We're going to flip upside down and do all sorts. Sam Raimi's dexterity with direction and complete flourish with camera work is just beyond reproach. And Evil Dead, I mean, that is the type, it's Evil Dead, you know. The old Palace video box for the original quad poster with the tape spooling around that, and they're all like, that is tremendous. But look at that. What Steve's done here is a wonderful collage of imagery from it. Look at the clock. Doosh, doosh, doosh. Chewing through her own wrist. It's so gruesome. Scotty. Oh dear. That looks really good the way he's grasping through the logo. Ash, obviously. That is clearly from towards the end. He's been showered with gore already, and the bodies are tottering. Cheryl is about to come down and crash, and her entire head about to explode. Oh God, no! And a big gloopy, ghoulish brain full of dark blood goes boosh into his face. But look at this. By far the most ghoulish elements of this movie. Besides that hideous bloody book, but that looks brilliant, doesn't it? Look at it. You do want to slap her, don't you? You know. But the tricks they play on him, you know, Like here, he's just buried her, and he sees the necklace poking out the grave, the freshly dug grave. He reaches down for it, and then suddenly the hand comes out. He starts scratching his leg. Again, in the uncut version, that goes on for a lot longer. Forgive me, folks. A lot of you will only have seen the uncut version, but when you go back to those days, to suddenly be used to that version and then see the extended, you're like, oh my god. Very often during the video nasty craze and collecting horror movies, you are always after getting the uncut versions from other countries, other territories, and by and large there wasn't a lot extra in a lot of these things. It was just a couple of frames here and there. Things like Dawn of the Dead and this, they really did. You think, oh my god, that was worth it. Jesus, they cut so much out. By contrast, Day of the Dead, when it was finally released in the UK, I already had a copy of it though. I'd seen it about 20,000 times before we actually went to Flicks to see it. So, and all they cut out there really was just the pressing down like on the machete in the arm. Oh god, what else was it? There was something else where it's pressing down again. It was the continual sort of mutilation of a limb or whatever, and obviously some of the gut pulling at the end as well. But it wasn't that badly treated. Any censorship in movies is a massive ba-boom no. But especially in fantasy movies where it's all fictitious, it's all high escapist special effects artwork, you know, and craftsmanship, and it's all to do with a fantasy milieu. So, you know, why cut that? Especially in zombie movies. Jesus Christ, you know. Just think like zombie flesh eaters, when the because that got released in two versions in this country. We had the BBFC certified 18 or X certificate theatrical print, which came out, which was shorn of a lot of gore. But then you also had on the same shelf the one with strong uncut version and a big splash advert on the cover, the great cover, the hand coming out. And so which one are you going to go for? Oh, that's out. Sorry, like Evil Dead, that's out. Well, you're not going to. Oh, well, I'll take the cut down bit. How are you bollocks going to take that? Crap. But that also, the uncut version of that, was just a revelation. Everything was just extended and just so much better. Because they're the selling points of these movies. Mood, atmosphere, great inventive creativity on a shoestring budget. Yeah, we all appreciate that. But at the time, all you wanted was splatter. It's the splatter that mattered. And the likes of this, Zombie Flesh Eaters, Maniac, you know, Dawn of the Dead, these were the demigods of gore. Steve, that is fantastic. I can't believe that I had it right away and then went through it. I literally cycled through a whole bunch of other movies. Poltergeist, House. Where was it going? It's because of you saying sequels and you didn't like the sequels. We need to talk about that because I'm actually genuinely surprised. I know the tone is drastically different from this to Evil Dead 2. More comedic, more slapstick, but it's still genius, and Ash is cemented as a cult icon, you know, in horror and in fantasy. Campbell's performance is so bravura, so ridiculous. You can see it starting in this. He puts himself through hell. He's doing all his own stunts. He's getting battered, bruised, you know, in the furtherance of his art. But we don't half appreciate it. Bruce, you are a champion. Look at the colours on it as well. Look at the tree. Yeah, look at that. Oh, what's that? I've just noticed something. 40-year anniversary. Do you know what? I didn't even see that. 40 years. There's the skull there. Christ, is it 40 years? Is it 40 years? Made in 1980, well, released 1981, 82. Yeah, it is. Well, 81 it would be. It was made, completed. It took them several years to do it, as I said before. The music playing now is the book burning. she's there with the poker. Great shot of like, he's looking up, he's on the floor, and the poker goes right beside his face. Look at it. Steve, mate, that's fabulous. It really is fabulous. And I wouldn't mind, but when I said to him, I messaged back and said, oh, it sounds great, can't wait, sounds groovy. He come back with that as well. He'd already done another message, which the message that threw me off by saying I don't like the sequels and all that. But he'd done that, which kind of gave, well, I thought, well, yeah, you know I've gone down the wrong track there, don't you? So that's why you've done that. But there you go. Here's the Cheryl being attacked by the vines in the woods, which leads up to the rape, of course. Well, folks, I don't know what you're so happy about. You didn't guess it either. So folks, while you guys are all catching up on the latest, has Buckingham Palace actually responded yet? I'm going to find somewhere to hang this. Cheers, y'all. Oh, one swig's never enough, is it? That is amazing, and it's not half inspired me to watch it again. Haven't seen the original for a while, and it is terrific. Oh, go to hell! I'm not honking at you, Jesus Christ! She acts like she's 3 years old or something. Scotty, he's brilliant, isn't he? He's a complete jerk as well. Like, I don't care about her. She's your girlfriend. You take care of her. But then again, you would be, wouldn't you? Be like, oh, fuck it. Look, I'm out of here. You want to stay and look after that fucking Kandarian demon there, which is ripping its own flesh apart, gouging its own eyes out. Fuck that. I'm out. Bye. And then you come back all ripped up. Ash, I'm sorry. The trees. Don't you see, Ash? They're alive. They know. Look at that. Brilliant. And it's your sister Cheryl. Oh, that one's Linda, isn't it? That's Linda who does that. Who shreds that. And in a crazy moment, they managed to, the Kandarian dagger, they managed to push it round behind her and stab her through the back, but through the spine, all the way through. Very strange. Very strange manoeuvre, that one. Done a lot of, martial arts and sword fighting and knife training, and I've never learnt that one. How to put a dagger through someone's back whilst embracing them. But look at that. Look at the cabin as well. Oh God. Folks, I'm sorry. I'm just spotting things I've never seen before. You're running like mad back to the cabin there. Look at that. Oh, yeah. And the cabin looks amazing, doesn't it? The colours are great, the splat is great, the quote is great, the ultimate experience in grueling terror. Is grueling spelt wrong? Does grueling have 2 L's in it? I'm a published author, I can't remember. You know when words don't look right to you? Is that right? Grueling with 1 L. Who cares? Look, it's the Evil Dead. Just awesome. Folks, I'm made up with that. I have been and always shall be Kilt-Man, and I will be back very shortly with, well, something else. Who knows? Who knows? And isn't that the beauty of it all? It's the randomness, the craziness, the chaos that is the world of Kilt-Man. There you go, Evil Dead. Iconic characters, the trapdoor. Oh, our old house, by the way, had a trapdoor, very similar to that. This house has several what you would call attic and loft spaces. One huge attic room and a rather bizarre labyrinthine loft area, and it has a trapdoor, but it's in the wall, so it's not like on the floor. You actually grab hold of it like this, and it goes out from the, it swings out from the wall, and you have to get on your hands and knees, but climb into it, and then you can go around, and it's, yeah. And even though this house is the house of leeks, I don't mean vegetation. There's nothing Welsh about this house, but we have leeks everywhere. It's an old ramshackle mansion house, for God's sake. And but so everywhere is that windows all leak. The conservatory roof blows off, and even a light breeze, a light susurration, and it's gone off to Kansas. But that room, that loft, which is a huge sort of L shape with a slanted roof as well, like, and it turns a corner, it goes into like a, actually not an L shape, it's a T shape, but one wing of it's far more expansive, and you can go around all this, and it, you know, it's like a bit of a maze. It's great. It's so warm in there, not supernaturally cold. It's just lovely and warm, and it doesn't leak at all. And it covers quite a huge section beneath the roof as well. So, why has that been protected? Who knows? Anyway, folks, there you go. I've rambled on long enough. That's the Evil Dead transformed, transmogrified into gorgeously gory OTT canvas art. Look at it. Look at that. The shading and the lighting is fantastic, isn't it? Nailed it. Folks, keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. And I am going to see you all on the next ITV broadcast about reactions to Harry and Meghan's bombshells. Team Harry and Meghan. Oh, and the stop button didn't work again. What does that mean? Does that mean the royals are watching?